I stole so much food when I was a store manager at a Subway. I worked as a general manager for a Subway about 4 years ago. They paid me crap and I couldn't afford anything. I quit after 3 months as I couldn't survive off the pay anymore. During the last month I stole so much food, and I'm not just talking 2 sandwiches here and a bag of chips there. I had control to the cameras and would turn him away from the parking lot when I did this, and the district manager never noticed as he rarely watched the cameras anyways. There was 15 stores in his area anyways. I would take packs of salami, pepperoni, lettuce, cookies, boxes of chips, etc. Whatever I could eat at home. My food costs went up some. But I didn't care. My district manager didn't ask me about it until a few days before I planned on quitting. I had a meeting with my crew about watching their waste, knowing damn well they weren't, but my last day I took so much stuff. I went back the next Friday to get my check and the district manager didn't say anything. Nobody ever said anything. I probably took close to $1,000 in food from the store. Haha, my brother worked at Subway, got arrested for letting a next-door restaurant take $10 worth of lettuce. The district manager saw it on camera and the police arrested him on shift a few days later. Dude, I used to work at Popeyes and me and my coworkers would take home literal bags of chicken. Sometimes. One of the PPL in on it was a shift lead, so we just make a couple extra batches and everyone gets a free meal. And we'd take out buttloads of chicken, boxes of biscuits, gallon bags of soda. You name it. This was once every week or so. It's impossible for me to judge someone for stealing food. Oh. The audacity of holding that team meeting and giving them a lecture on waste. All while knowing you were the mastermind behind it all. Revolving light oncoming police car, revolving light, tears of joy. Subway was told 3 times Jared was a pedo and ignored it, so I'm okay with this. Lol, me too, so many free subs and cookies. Technically I wasn't the manager, but they gave me all the managerial responsibilities but refused to up my pay, so I saw it as a fair trade-off. Worked at McDonald's for 3 years. Lol, during my last week I was taking bear shit sauces, coffee syrups, whipped cream, frozen food, and so on every day to stack up at home. I was even taking the pettiest things like utensils and napkins. I usually don't like to steal, but given the shit they put staff through, not giving a damn about it, and the fact that it's such a huge company, I genuinely didn't care and still don't. I still know some of the employees and I ask them to steal something for me once in a while, lol. I miss working in fast food. My grocery costs had never been lower. It's one of the hidden perks of the job. Even before I became a supervisor, I'd steal and watch other managers take. 2. No one gave a shit. I did this to a bakery I worked at as a teenager. They were paying me $6 an hour when $15 was minimum wage cash in hand. And they were withholding tax, but when I went to file a tax return and get my tax return, they said there was no evidence of me working. They said they'd look into it. I was young and dumb. But I just packed my school lunch every day from the store. I work at McDonald's and I fill up drinks from the soda dispenser all the time. Which I guess is stealing too. It's all good. I worked at one and the manager made the mistake of telling me the cameras didn't actually work. I stole a ton of sandwiches and cookies and let folks walk with free stuff whenever I worked alone. That's what you get for making a teenage girl manage the store alone at night anyway. Grand Theft Auto Subway Edition. I tacked a lot of food for survive when in worked like a dishwasher at a restaurant. Sometimes me and my fiancé only eat restaurant food for days, so don't worry. Sometimes we need to do a lot of thing to survive in this capitalist world. Good job. Yeah. But all that stuff except the chips spoiled quickly, right? Did you eat all of it? Stealing to survive is not a crime. Fuck capitalism. I worked at a school and I regularly stole books, pens, milk, ketchup, fruit and stuff to do crafts with. Don't feel bad about it. Just be careful. Don't overdo it. Lol, tears of joy, you didn't do anything wrong. Dude. Thank you. I bet you made nowhere close to what minimum wage would be if it was to increase with inflation. So inflation has risen as wage per hour has not. This all started in the mid-70s. If wage per hour would have risen as the cost of living had, minimum wage would be $28.50. Get it while you can. The laws are set up in the business owner's favor. He can file bankruptcy and keep his new car, home, boat, ATV, etc. And we wonder why theft had become so rampant. I knew somebody who was a store manager, and we would go in at night after hours and we would all make ourselves huge salads and then close everything back up like nothing happened and leave. I worked at a catering company where I lived off of the food for a month or two, stolen OBV. But it was going to be trashed anyways. I was also using the delivery van to drive to buy Christmas tree ornaments and dropped my girlfriend off at work a lot. If we can't live off of the wages we work so hard for, I'm gonna find a way. How dare you steal from that poor multi-billion-dollar corporation? My brother used to work for Subway and he'd come home with huge garbage bags of Sun chips and loaves. I know the loaves were just being thrown out at the end of the night, but I have no clue how he got away with the Sun chips. They know. That's the thing. They know it was you because when you left nothing else went missing. You did nothing wrong. Your job should pay you enough to eat. This society is sick. They're a greedy corporation. You did what you had to do to stay alive. I hope you're doing better now. Meanwhile, a Subway regional sales director looking at this Reddit exploding head. Worked at Pizza Hut right after school. Would drop a 12-piece wing every night for home. No need for confession. You did the right thing. They were stealing from you. When I worked there in high school, I would eat frozen cookie dough when I counted the bread at the end of the night. Lol, food at Subway. Isn't that an oxymoron? Stealing food isn't stealing as long as you're eating it. In high school my girlfriend worked there and I was never without a card full of stamps to eat. Whenever I wanted it was nice for a while. Sorry, just a memory, I kinda stole a lot of Subway too. It's just food that probably wouldn't have been thrown out. I worked at 2 different Subways and both times I had an absolute shit time. From a former employee. This made me happy. Maybe you wouldn't have to do this if they paid a manager a livable wage. This is making the guilt I used to have completely go away. I worked at BK. I would ring up a spicy chicken sandwich, $1 employee price 50 cents. Go to the back to prepare it. And wrap up a $5 chicken sandwich in the $1 chicken sandwich wrapper and go eat my fakey sandwich. In my car, tears of joy. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you a team player. A person's gotta eat.